Esther was a young Jewish woman living in a time of great uncertainty and challenge. She lived in Persia, a land far from her ancestors' home, a place where her people were often misunderstood and mistreated. Orphaned at a young age, Esther was raised by her cousin Mordecai, who took her in as his own daughter. He was kind and loving, providing her with the care and guidance she needed to grow into a strong young woman. Mordecai taught her about their faith and traditions, instilling in her a deep sense of identity and purpose. Esther was known for her beauty, a beauty that was not just skin deep but radiated from within. But more importantly, she possessed inner strength and wisdom, qualities that would soon be put to the test. Little did she know, destiny had great plans for her, plans that would require all her courage and faith. God would use her in a mighty way, guiding her steps and giving her the strength to face the challenges ahead. He would elevate her to a position of great influence, where her actions would change the course of history for her people. Esther's journey was just beginning, and her story would become a testament to the power of faith and courage. She would become a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience, and a reminder that even in the darkest times, one person's bravery can make a difference. The king of Persia was Ahasuerus, a powerful ruler. He ruled a vast and expansive empire. Ahasuerus sought a new queen to share his throne. He held a grand competition to find her. Esther, with her captivating beauty and grace, was chosen as queen. She became Queen of Persia. Esther's faith was tested in many ways. She concealed her Jewish identity from everyone. It was a dangerous secret in the Persian court. Her cousin Mordecai advised her wisely. He became her confidant and guide through difficult times. He knew God had a purpose for Esther's life. She was chosen for such a time as this, to fulfill her destiny. Haman was the king's advisor. He held a position of great power and influence in the royal court, often seen wearing his elaborate royal court costume, symbolizing his high status. He was a proud and wicked man, known for his arrogance and cruelty. He despised Mordecai, a Jew who worked at the king's gate. Mordecai's refusal to bow down to him fueled Haman's anger and disdain. Mordecai refused to bow down to him, adhering to his faith and principles. This act of defiance enraged Haman, who began to plot a sinister revenge. He wanted Mordecai dead, but his hatred did not stop there. Haman's hatred went even further. He was not content with just eliminating Mordecai. He wanted to annihilate all the Jews in the kingdom. Haman devised a diabolical plan to exterminate all the Jews in Persia. With a malevolent smile, he presented his plan to the king, convincing him with lies and deceit. The king, influenced by Haman's lies and manipulations, approved the horrific plan without realizing the full extent of its evil. A decree was issued, sealed with the king's authority. The decree ordered the death of all Jews in the kingdom. It was a chilling command that sent shockwaves through the land. They were to be killed on a specific day, a day marked on the calendar, a day that would live in infamy. Soldiers began preparing for the attack, sharpening their weapons and readying themselves for the massacre. Fear and despair spread throughout the Jewish community. Families huddled together, their faces etched with worry and sorrow as they contemplated the impending doom. Their very existence was threatened. In their distress, many turned to prayer, seeking divine intervention to save them from the horrific fate that awaited them. The air was thick with tension and fear as the day of reckoning drew near. Mordecai learned of the decree. He was devastated. The fate of his people hung in the balance. He turned to Esther, his cousin, who had become queen. She had to know. She was their only hope. He sent a message to her detailing the dire situation. The decree meant certain death for their people. In his message, he reminded her, "You were born for such a time as this." These words echoed in her mind, stirring her heart. He pleaded with her to intervene, to use her position to speak to the king. The urgency in his voice was unmistakable. She knew what she had to do. She had to approach the king, despite the risks. The thought of it filled her with dread. She had to save her people. Esther was terrified, but she couldn't let fear paralyze her. It was forbidden to approach the king without being summoned. The law was clear and unforgiving. Doing so meant risking her life. The penalty for such an act was death, unless the king extended his golden scepter. But Esther found courage in her faith. She prayed fervently, seeking strength and guidance. She resolved to act, no matter the cost. "If I perish," she declared with unwavering determination. Her resolve was unshakable. She would risk everything to save her people. With each step towards the throne room, her resolve grew stronger. Esther was ready to face her destiny.